Hello and welcome to eBay with Chris. Of course, my name is Chris. In this video, I want to talk about time away and vacation mode. My store in the last 2 months has been on vacation mode or time away mode for roughly 50% of the time. In fact, in December, my store was completely shut down for 18 days from December 2nd through December 20th while we moved from the state of Washington to the state of Florida. I completely moved my inventory. If you're interested in the videos about that, I'll go ahead and put a card up here so you can check out one of those videos later. But I've always been concerned about vacation mode or time away mode affecting my sales. Like shutting down your store for that long, does it impact your sales long term? Does your store take time to recover? In this video, I'm going to share with you what happened to my store, and I'm going to tell you don't have to be afraid. Go on vacation. Your store will continue to live and thrive. At least it did for me. That's been my experience, and it's been a good one. But let's go ahead and look at the numbers and see how it turned out, okay? Okay, so first of all, let me show you how to schedule time away. Just in case you don't know how to do that, I think most of you probably do, but just in case, this will be real quick. But what you want to do is go to the upper left corner, open up your eBay store and go to the upper left corner. I'll go ahead and zoom in here and go up here to where it says, "Hello, Chris," and then click on Account Settings. And then you can scroll down. You got your personal information you can change, and then you're getting into the selling information, and this is where you see something called time away. And go ahead and click on time away. And then you can go over here and it says schedule time away, none scheduled. I'm going to go here and click edit on the right. Okay, and it gives you a couple options. So the first option is you can pause your sales for up to 30 days while you're away. So buyers cannot purchase any fixed price items from you, but they can still purchase auction items. If you have things on auction, they can still purchase them, but they can't purchase anything with fixed price. My store is 100% fixed price, so this shuts down my store completely. This is what I did when I was moving from the state of Washington to the state of Florida. I completely shut down my store from December 2nd through December 20th. In fact, I wasn't sure if I'd be able to open up until like December 23rd or 24th, but fortunately my inventory arrived earlier, so I was able to open up earlier. The other option, and this is the one that I typically choose, I typically don't shut down my store entirely. I choose this option, which is allow sales. Let me click on this one. So both of them are kind of the same. When you click on them, they give you a start date and an end date that you can select. But this one is what I typically will do. You can allow sales for up to 15 days while you're away. Buyers can see that you are on time away, but they can still purchase your items. And this is what I did the first a couple weeks in November when we found out that our house was flooded. We actually flew from Washington to Florida in order to gut the house. We were here for about 9 days. We were only supposed to be here for about 5 days, but we got stuck by the next hurricane, which was Hurricane Milton. We couldn't fly out. So we hunkered down with some friends here. And yeah, we were safe, but we were stuck here for 9 days. So my store was on vacation mode or time away mode, but buyers were still able to purchase the items in my store. They just would not get shipped until I came back from Florida. So I believe that was roughly November 4th through, I think we got back on the 14th, if I remember correctly. And then I just did this again when 2 of my daughters came to visit me after Christmas. They were here from December 31st through the 8th of January, which was a lot of fun. But because I don't have a place to live in for them, we just kind of traveled around Florida. We went south where it was warmer and enjoyed the beaches and did some other fun events, did some paddle boarding and things like that, did some exploring. And my store, because I wasn't near my inventory, I had to shut down my store and put it on time away mode. And that was from December 31st through January 8th. So I just came back a couple days ago and shipped out all my orders. I'm getting back into the groove, but these are the 2 options that you have. So anyways, I hope that was helpful so you can kind of see how to put your store in time away if you want to do that. Now let's check out my numbers. Okay, so first of all, I wanted to show you that I did not have any sales for a big chunk of time in December. Here we have the report for 12/1 through 12/31, and I'm comparing it to the same period last year because I want to see those numbers just because December is such a kind of a weird month for sales, at least for me because I specifically sell clothes. But let's go ahead and kind of skip past the report and we're going to go down to the actual chart. Okay, there it is. And you can see I had sales on the first and the second. I had $197 on the first, on the second 126, and I can't remember exactly what time I shut my store off, but it was probably around 2 p.m. on December 2nd because that is when I started loading all of my inventory into the U-Haul boxes, and I could not get to any of my inventory after that in order to ship out sales, so I had to shut my store off. And you can see I had no sales until I turned the store back on the 20th, which was a Friday. In fact, I believe I turned my store on around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. That's when I started to offload my inventory, and I felt comfortable on a Friday that when people did order, I would have time over the weekend in order to pull my inventory out, get it all organized, and be able to ship it all by Monday morning. So I was encouraged that within a couple hours I had sales. In fact, that Friday I had $75 in sales. So pretty excited to be able to flip my store back on and get some sales pretty much right away. And you can see that the next day I had $46, $105, $182, $89. Let's see here, $83. And then December 26th. So that was Christmas Day. I had $83, and the day after $54. So even though it was Christmas week, I still had some decent sales after flipping my store open. However, has my store recovered? Let's look at some data on that because I'm not sure yet. Okay, so now I have selected dates from October 13th through January 11th. I wanted to select roughly 3 months of data here. And I selected it from a Sunday through today, which is Saturday, 1/11. And we'll be able to look at a chart below and actually compare to the numbers from the prior year. I have same period last year compared to because I want to check the numbers because, you know, from October through the end of the year, you can have some really big months like October, November. It starts to ramp up, right? And then probably mid-December, it just falls off. That's how it is for me. I have good sales. It starts to ramp in October, November, and then like the end of November is really big. And then it pretty much falls off after that. So that's how my sales trend has been. I'm not sure about yours, but I do want to compare it year to year to see what happened. Another thing to note too is that because of the move, I stopped listing. Let me check my notes here. The last day I listed was November 22nd, and I did not start listing again until I was settled here in Florida, and that was December 30th. So that was the next time I actually listed something. So I know a lot of YouTubers out there say you need to list daily in order to continue to get sales. And I believe that's true. However, at the same time, if you have a big enough store, you're not going to lose out on sales. I think you're still going to continue to get sales. Maybe not as many. I'm not sure. It's hard to say. But again, I did not list for roughly 5 weeks. I didn't list a single thing. I didn't take pictures. I didn't buy any inventory. And my store continued to make sales. I continued to make money. And I didn't work that much in my store. I was just basically shipping when I was home, which was like 50% of the time. But let's check out these numbers. Most importantly, it's not really the actual report. It's actually the chart that we're going to look at because that will show you the year over year information. So here it is right here. And I do want to just compare, like, how was I doing in October, November, which should see a spike, and then how am I doing now? But I also want to compare it to last year because December is a slower month, and so was January for me. Now, again, my store last year had 1,000 units in it, a little bit over 1,000, maybe 1,100, and currently my store has a roughly 3,000, 3,100 items in it right now. So it's almost tripled, but my sales haven't tripled. They've kind of doubled. But here, let's go ahead and look at some of these numbers here. Okay, hopefully this helps a little bit better so that you can see the screen. Here we are in the week of October 13th, and you can see I had $1,500 in sales. And you can see it's fairly flat across October. Then November has a little bit of spike, and then December is pretty flat too, but quite a bit less. In fact, it looks like in October I'm ranging in the $1,300 to $1,400 range. November spikes up a little bit for a couple weeks, and then December I'm only in the low 800s. So it makes me wonder, like 847, 830, and here's 744 for this current week, January 5th through 11th. Does that mean that my store, because it was closed and shut down for vacation mode or time away, does that mean my store has not recovered yet? That's a good question, but what I want to do is actually look at the year-over-year comparison, because actually last year in December, my sales dipped quite a bit as well, and in January they started to recover, but they didn't right away. So let's check this out. I want to see what they look like year over year as far as growth. So here we are, the first week in October. My sales went up 169% total dollars. The second week, or this third week in October, sorry, my sales only went up 69%. Here we are almost doubling in this last week of October, 90% increase. And then here we are in this first week of November, actually a decrease in sales. So I had a really good week that week in the prior year. And then here we are, I just increased 49%. Here's a huge increase, 183. So November's kind of all over the place. This week right here is actually the week of Thanksgiving and the week of Black Friday. And I shut down my store like the day after Cyber Monday. So I kind of shot myself in the foot as far as potential sales, but that's okay. I had to move. So it was time to go. And so I had to pack it up and shut the store down. But then you can see, obviously, this is when I shut down my store. I was only open for 2 days. It was 3 days, Sunday, Monday, and then I shut it down on Tuesday the 2nd. So you can see my sales were down quite a bit. And, of course, I missed out on all this opportunity here these couple weeks. And then I opened it back up again on Friday. And here we are. This is interesting. So my sales year over year up 233%, up 162%, and up only 34% this week. So I would say, based off this, my store has fully recovered, because I am on trend to what I was last year, roughly, give or take. So it seems like shutting down your store for 18 days in December does not impact your overall store when you turn it back on. It seems like it comes back up and sales start kicking off right away, and roughly the same volume, at least year over year. I do want to get it back to those October numbers where I was hitting $1,300 to $1,400 a week. That would be great. But you can see that in end of December, like the week of Christmas last year, I still did over 200%, 233% compared to last year. The week of New Year's, I did 162% year over year. And now this current week I've only increased by 34%. So it tells me that, hey, maybe I'm starting to decline as far as year over year. But I got to see what it looks like over the next couple weeks in January. Again, I have started to list once again. I'm listing roughly 10 items per day just to kind of get back into the groove. My goal is 10 items per day, and that's what I've been doing. So I'm curious, what do you think? Based off this data, has my store recovered? Have you gone on time away for a long period of time, maybe more than 15, 20 days? What has it done to your store? Did your store recover quickly from that time away? I've always been a little bit nervous about putting my store on time away, because I've heard stories that the store will not recover, that it takes a while to get back going again. And for me, that was not my experience. I feel like my store, as soon as I turned it back on, started clicking again, and I was getting sales fairly regularly once I turned it back on again. So I'm curious about your experience regarding time away. Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear about that. Well, I hope that was helpful information. I have a lot of video ideas I need to get caught up on. For example, I still need to show you my P&L for December. It will be a lot less because of all the days that were off. And then I'm also going to put together my 2024 P&L, my entire year, list out all of my expenses and all of my profits and losses and that kind of thing. So you can see kind of behind the scenes how much money you can potentially make selling clothes on eBay, at least as far as my store volume goes and the type of things that I pick up. It will give you some ideas of what kind of money you can make doing this. And for me, it's definitely been positive. Like, I have been away from my store a number of times during the year, and I've continued to make money while I was gone. And that has been super helpful. It's given me a lot of flexibility with my time, which is what I really want. You know, I'm 54 years old, and what is more important to me now is time more than money. So I want flexibility, flexible time, so I can spend it with my loved ones and doing the things that I love to do, and make a few bucks just so I can pay the bills and live my kind of minimalist lifestyle. So if you like this video, make sure you like and subscribe. Also hit that notification bell so you are notified of any future videos I put out. Once again, thanks a lot for watching eBay with Chris, and I'll catch you on the next one.